So I mean, the other thing that I saw that there's a bit of banter between Elon and Jeff Bezos this week. And
Oh, is it?
I see Elon Musk reply to one of Bezos' tweets with a silver medal, with an image of a silver medal, just to
This is about their net worth. Okay.
absolutely, because Elon Musk's net worth at the moment is 222 billion versus the 190 billion of Bezos, and that's just because there was an increase in the evaluation of SpaceX that obviously made
Had to
made
be. Yeah.
yeah. Jeez.
When we brought this up before, I said, these guys are so rich. They probably don't even care about this kind of stuff.
Well,
Money's pointless. And clearly not.
no, well, I think it's I suppose there's I suppose the Elon Jeff thing goes a little bit deeper because okay, so they're both there fighting to be the top person. I suppose it's not the
Space race.
number that makes
Yeah.
the difference; it's the fact that the one is ahead of the other, and the fact that they trying to play in the same market, the sort of like civilian space arena, you know. I mean, like old Richard Branson's also in that arena, but he's not.
It's not the same ballpark.
Yeah, he's not in the same ballpark. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just find it interesting, but like, I mean, like you say, I mean, do they really worry about the amount, you know, the actual money? I mean, when it says that Musk added $9 billion to his fortune on one particular day after an investor agreement. I mean, it's like that just blows your mind. The fortune increased by $9 billion.
9 billion just overnight, just on a valuation.
Yeah.
And Musk started. What did he get for the sale? Because he came to light when he sold PayPal to eBay.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of PayPal, and I'm not. But it was worth over $1 billion or something at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Was it? I don't think it's that great. But effectively, it is a bank.
Yes.
It's a transaction bank, and it's the engine behind it that people are buying. The user experience is something else.
Yeah.
But he
Listen, I use PayPal. I use PayPal all the time.
I can't stand it. I've never had anything but problems with
it. But all it is that for my streaming subscriptions or my Amazon account or whatever, it's using my PayPal account, which is then linked to my credit card, and that's how I'm using and it's like it's almost like a debit order that goes off every month through PayPal from my credit card. Yeah.
I'll tell you my experiences another day.
Cool.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, he started with $1 billion in the early 2000s, and so effectively, what's he done in 20 years? He's got to the point where he's making what he made from his life work up until that point. He's now making a day.
Yeah. Sure.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I suppose it was a specific event on that day where they made some sort of investment agreement or whatever, and so it's not like every day that he's making that. But I mean, the fact that your fortune can move by that amount in just like that, you know, it's just like blows my mind.
It's just silly money. It's not. It's just numbers. It has no value. It's such a big net worth value that it's meaningless.
Yeah. And I suppose the same kind of thing has happened in the crypto environment as well, where guys from one day to the next have like literally won the lotto because they happen to buy a particular cryptocurrency at the right time and woke up the next day and this thing's flipping gone to the moon. And, you know, I look forward to that day. It's like I bought a lotto ticket a mate of mine bought a lotto ticket for me the other day. Like, dude, if I got one number, I was lucky.
That's always the case. But, you know, one of these days I will win it. It's not a case of if I'm going to win. It's going to be a case of when. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But I was talking
Good
to
luck
some
with
guys
that.
this week. Oh no, thanks, mate. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't play the same lottery. There was 170 odd million in the Euro Millions this yesterday. So I'm just checking to see if anyone's won it. Because it gets to the point where they cap it. Cap it at 220 million. Well, how's this? So I was chatting to a friend of mine earlier the week, and he knows this guy who used to have his own insurance company, and he sold it, and he's got his fingers in all sorts of pies, and he gets royalties, and he's sitting there wondering what to do with his money now because he's still earning like around £1 million a week, even though he's not working. So my mate was showing me pictures of his Ferrari, which the modifications he did was almost another half of the cost of the car on top of the cost of the car. Ridiculous money. And I'm like, oh, if I had the opportunity to do that, well, I'm not sure I'd buy the Ferrari, but would I do all of that? And then he put it in context of the money doesn't really matter because he's making more than double the cost of this modified car a week.
Yeah.
And you just go, I can't fathom. It's not tangible. He could buy a Ferrari. He could buy 2 Ferraris a week. All right. So over a year, you've got 104 Ferraris. Okay. Now I can start picturing going, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, when you put it like that, the fact that the guy put a certain value of extras onto that vehicle.
Yeah.
Like your initial thing is to say, wow, man, geez, that's like a bit of an overkill. But then when you realize, but hang on a second, you could buy 2 of those cars a week for the next year. Yeah. Adding those extras doesn't seem so extravagant, does it? Yeah. Anyway.
But he's wondering what to do with his money.
No. He can send it to me, dude. If he really, really wants to.
I always try and think of it from that perspective because it is just meaningless. And if you got that much, and what do you do with it? Because invariably you've probably worked hard to get to that point, to have these values, and that's how I presume Musk has got to where he is. Certainly Bezos has worked his ass off to get where he, it came from humble beginnings. So by all means, you've worked your asses off, but you can't stop because you have to be kept busy. You're so used to that tempo for such a long period of time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's
that's the thing is
like
like
making change.
Yeah. Anyway.